Hello Stockage users. So in this video we are going to talk about how to do stock research. Now that is the most important part of this app. The idea of creating this app was to give you enough data point, enough data visualization to make sense of what the stock is doing and whether it's worth investing or trading in that particular stock. So how do you search a stock? So there are two ways you can do that. One is either you found out about a particular stock through a news section. So when you go through a news section, if you click in one of the news, it will take you directly to that stock. So you can click on that stock and you go to the section of the stock, right? Or suppose you got to know about a stock through someone and you want to search a stock. So on the top of the panel, we have given you the search framework where you can actually search for that particular stock and the stock will be out based on your search criteria. Or you have a stock icon here as well where you can put a particular stock name and you will get the stock straight out of it. Now getting inside each and every tab of the stock page, as you can see, this is a very basic page where we have given you the simple graphical presentation of what the stock has done. 1 day stands for intraday, 1 month stands for 1 month, and we have given you data to as lengthy as 5 years for your analysis purpose. And this data for stocks which are listed in both NSE and BSE, we have given you option to select either of these two exchanges. We have also added a matrix below this graph. This eventually will be shifted in another tab in few versions for now, but this matrix is a fantastic matrix which gives you an idea of major levels in terms of high, low, close for the week, for the month, or 52-week high, and you can actually make sense of the major support and resistance of the stock through these metrics, right? Then you go to the next tab, which is the delivery tab. Now this is a fantastic presentation of what kind of delivery is happening in that particular stock. As you understand, theoretically, if there is more delivery in that stock at the end of the day, that means there are more people who are interested in buying or selling that stock for a long-term momentum, right? So this data visualization, which is helping you to know what is the percentage of volume which is getting converted into delivery for both NSE and BSE. And in fact, a value addition which we have given to you is that you can actually click both and it will club both the exchanges data and give you the delivery percentage which has happened in that particular stock. Now if you click any specific date, you will also get an information in an absolute terms that what was the delivery quantity and what was the traded quantity of that particular stock. Now moving on to the next part, fundamental. Now whenever you want to see a stock, you want quick analysis of that stock, that fundamentally what are the various parameters on the basis of which this stock can be evaluated. So we have given you a brief overview of the stock where we have told you about the market cap, the EPS, the PE ratio. So these are the basic primary parameters of fundamental research. And then you go to the next sub tab, which is the result. In each result tab, you will see a clear classification of the sections of the results. So there is sales, there is expenditure, then EBITDA, then other income, depreciation, interest. This result can be seen on a quarterly basis or half yearly or annual basis. Let me take you to the annual basis result and you see how the data is changing as per the annual data. And this is a pretty nice presentation of a basic result performance of a company, right? If you click on sales, this graph will expand and actually you can click on any year on that particular graph and all other data points will modify according to your selection of that particular graph, right? Now this is helping us certainly to know whether the basic financials of the company is growing or not. The third sub tab is the ratio. What we have done is we have made the analysis of ratio as absolutely smooth and streamlined for people. So what we have done is we have categorized the ratio on the basis of major parameters. So you have return ratio, efficiency ratio, growth ratio. So any specific user who want to know how the company is growing with respect to various parameters, you select the growth ratio and you see what are the various ratios and whether company is doing anything on those parameters or not. Now, there is a problem in ratio analysis where each individual can have its own numerator and denominator, and you would like to know which numerator and denominator is used to calculate this ratio. So you just have to click this plus and you see the number exactly which has been used to calculate this ratio. In this example, there is only one number called the net sales. But if you see the other example, say return ratio, and if I want to calculate the return on equity, what we have used is the net profit and the net worth as the numerator and the denominator. Now, as the case in the result, where you can click the graph, you can play with the graph, and you see all the ratios, all the numbers there are changing on the basis of selection of your graph. Right? I forgot to mention that the financials can also be tracked on the basis of consolidated or the standalone results of the company. Right? Now, moving on to the next, which is the financial, which is the balance sheet and the cash flow and the profit and loss part of the financial accounting. Now, the beauty of this type of graph is it is much more interactive, and you can zoom in inside each and every component and see what exactly has been the performance of that component over the period of last 5 years. So say for example, you go to cash flow and you would like to see whether this company Cipla is making money on an operating level. So cash from operation, if I see for the last 5 years, it has been quite erratic, but on last year they have actually done much better cash from operation vis-a-vis other 4 years preceding that year, right? Now go to the other tab called shareholder. Now we are all definitely interested in knowing who are the shareholders. So the pattern of shareholding, whether promoters are diluting their stake or whether new people are buying the stake in the company, whether FII or FPI are buying the stake or the DIA are selling the stakes, all these macro data with respect to shareholding pattern change is seen in this particular subtab. And if you go to the shareholder in detail, we are giving you quarterly shareholder disclosure since 2011, and using this data you can see who are the promoter of this company and whether they are increasing at an individual level. You can see what has been their what has been their strategy in terms of buying or selling stake in the company. So for example, in Cipla, you see Mr. Yusuf Khwaja Hamid, he has 21.16% share right now in his individual name. If you click here and if you see, he has been holding this share since long. Although he has increased the shareholding in 2016, earlier his shares were around 1 crore 25 lakhs. Now that he has increased his shareholding in the company in 2016. Now, because promoter is buying the share in his name, it gives a lot of confidence to the market to hold on to this stock or buy this stock and think about this stock in a absolutely zero level. Now get inside the derivative trade. In the next tab, you see the future open interest. You can see the open interest at an individual expiry level, or you can see the open interest at a cumulative level. Similarly, you can also see the data of options, where you can see options OI change, options price, right? And you can go to any expiry and you can see any strike price, call or put, and see how the volume or open interest on that particular instrument is outstanding as on particular day. Apart from this, we have a beautiful section called the scan section. Now scan is a section which we are going to discuss in detail in the other videos, but scan helps you to see what this stock is doing technically every day. So if there is any major scan condition getting satisfied in the stock, that will be mentioned here. So you know for sure that there is still a positive trend in the stock or the trend is changing, because there are certain parameters which may suggest that the trend may be changing in the stock, and you may take wiser trading decision based on the change in the trend or based on the indicators which different scans are giving to you. Apart from this, you have filtered deals. So with respect to stock Cipla, you know what are the bulk deal, block deal for the last 5 years, and what has been the insider deal for the last 5 years of Cipla. We know that the news provided by us is a filtered news by the research team, but what we have done is we have integrated all information, external information with respect to Cipla in this section called update, where you get the filtered news, you get the announcements made in Cipla, you get corporate announcements, corporate events which can happen in Cipla, and you get the Google feed as well. So in case we miss anything, Google, we believe, will not miss anything. So you get exhaustive feed of Google with respect to Cipla, and you can track each and every news as per your comfort. Now the last section of this stock analytics is you have done your research on Cipla and you want an alert on Cipla whenever price crosses a particular range, right? So I have given you an option where you can add a target for Cipla. Say I want to buy Cipla when the price crosses 600. Why? Because my friend told me, right, and I can just add this target. So whenever Cipla will breach that target, it will inform you instantly or in a matter of 5 minutes delay, and immediately you will get information and you can act on this stock. Okay, now once the information is displayed and it has been achieved, it will still remain as part of the achieved database, so that in future if you want still to do something about that level which you have decided as a target level, this stock this section is there to help you to track that particular achieved level as well. Now this feature is phenomenal. You get everything related to a stock in a particular app and on your fingertip. So doing a research on a stock is a matter of 10 to 15 minutes, but you can track it wisely by pressing it as part of your favorite stock. So you can click this star and you can add this as one of the watch list, which we are going to discuss in detail in the next video. As one of the watch lists, you can click it and add it so that you can track that stock through that watch list at a consolidated portfolio level. Okay, thank you.